This is the Carty Method Podcast.
Well, hello. Welcome to another episode of Portfolio Lab. It is the Carty Method Podcast, and it's Thursday. Thursday is the day, also Tuesday, but Thursday is the day that we do pro-level assignments, where I give you an assignment that a professional photographer would get to shoot for, per se, a magazine, an ad, or something like that. This week's assignment is the back cover challenge, meaning I want you to create a powerful visual punctuation mark that serves as an editorial end page image. So the back cover challenge is this week's assignment. That's what we're looking at today. Now, if you're a people photographer, the goal was to capture a subject from behind or in a candid, less composed kind of state, or create a portrait that leaves an open-ended question or feeling of continuity, or focus on subtle expressions or gestures that reflect on the main story. Now, if you shot places, the goal was to document a location that echoes a theme or provides some sort of closure, capture a scene that suggests life goes on after this main event, or use environmental details to create a reflective sort of atmosphere. Now, if you shot things, the goal, if you're a things photographer, is to photograph objects in a way that bridges the editorial concept and the reader's imagination. Create an abstract detail, or something that encourages the viewer to fill in the blanks, or stage products in a way that provides a sense of continuity or epilogue. Let's get into, we're gonna start right away. How about that? Let's get into JV. JV says, hey, Carty and crew. Here we have a scented candle and some fog. I know candles don't get this smoky, but I couldn't help myself. P.S. I learned that my camera doesn't even have a hot shoe, so I had to trigger the strobe with one camera flash. Cameras that don't have a hot shoe usually have a way to like plug in, and if your camera doesn't have a hot shoe, it means that you're not using a pro level camera. Sony A5100 is a point and shoot, my friend. I know it has interchangeable lenses, but JV, you got to update your camera. Sony AV5100 40mm 2.8, ISO 200 f14 1/60th of a second, especially if you're trying to be a pro. I mean, pro people bring out pro tools. You know what I mean? It's like you can't go to an F1 race with your Acura. It's just not going to work. I mean, it'll work. You can drive around the track, but you're going to look silly to people who know, and you don't want to look silly. 80 Pro 200 with a snoot and grid, portable fog machine, and two white foam core boards. Ladies and gentlemen, our first submission of the day is JV. Let's get it on, Jay. Thanks for submitting. There's definitely a vibe here. Is it over smoked? It's a little over smoked, but it's okay. As far as the placement of the match, that placement of the match, like leaning the match on the product, is kind of a no-no. Like, I would not think that is the place that we place the match. Put the match on the edge of the these Palo Santo sticks. Put the match here, because these also are to be lit. Like the Palo Alto, if that was lit, this could be where the smoke was coming from. The candle itself doesn't look lit. There's no light coming from the candle. Is that because you just blew the candle out? Is that why? Well, then I would see like a smoke trail from the candle being blown out, not from your crazy mist machine. Like, I have a candle right here. Watch. And let's look at what happens when you blow a candle out. So we have this candle right here, and I blow this candle out. So what happens is that light that comes from that smoke that comes from the candle, that's, I think, what we're trying to catch. I think that would be very helpful if we saw in this picture. And for me, it looks more like the smoke is coming from the mister than from the candle being blown out. Now, the whole idea here is that it's an end page. And let's see, does this work as an end page? For me, yes, it works as an end page. But again, the things that I want you to notice is like the over styling, the match being so like, how many times have you lit a match and placed it like this afterwards against a candle? Like that, this would never happen. So again, you would put it in an ashtray, or you would like have it sort of on the surface that you just were. So again, have that match here. You're making this match too much a part of this label, and this brand does not need that match there. So the black on black, the dark on dark works, but again, a little bit of separation back there to show the product a little bit more. Overall, this is good. I want you to watch the styling, JV. I want you to make sure that you're not like over smoking, which I think we both know that you did here, and over styling, like the idea. There's only 4 elements here, so it's not overstyled. I feel like lighting or having the Palo Santo in such a way that, I mean, when you light this, you're holding it. Palo Santo doesn't go in a holder. Palo Santo is this wood. This wood is also like an incense, like a burnable wood that has a really beautiful scent. So again, this is very close. Match placement is the thing that bothers me the most. I hope that helps you. That was Mr. JV. And as an end page, I'm gonna give you an 11 on this one. Again, you're one that should be looking at a new camera body, because the level of work that you're making is pretty high for shooting with a point and shoot body with a nice lens. All right, and also we all have Lightroom and Photoshop. Please go in and care enough to take away all of these dots that are all over your product. There's so many of them. Take that stuff away. Look at the label and all the dots that are like extra on the label when we go up close. And things like this you fix, and down here you fix. All of this stuff is simple to fix before you hand it in. This is what makes a picture the difference between straight out of camera and an actual final, is that post-production. Don't miss it. I hope that helps. That's JV. All right. Next on board is Frank Tom. Frank says, "Hey Carty, here's my submission for the end page. I photographed this runner on a high school track. Based on the color and the background of the track, I thought black and white worked best. 1DX Mark II, 24-70, ISO 100, f4.5, 1/60th of a second. Shot with a Profoto B10 and reflector." This is Frank Tom. Frank, as an end page, not so much. There's some compositional mistakes that are happening here. This is, I think, a little bit too close for me to be an end page. And also, I want you to see how this crops as an 8x10. When you look at this as an 8x10 and also subsequently like a 9x12, the actual crop that you think versus what it is very different. And even not as an 8x10, as a full 8x12, you're cutting the hoodie the way that his legs are being cut. There's no product. The running shoe is the product. Like, what's going to sell? Like, the most expensive thing in this picture is the running shoes, but you're not showing them. So the hoodie, yes, but I can't see if it's a brand hoodie or if it's just a generic. So these kinds of like, and like for me, this picture, in order for it to be an end page, it has to be like the track going this way and the runner here going that way and you shooting him from behind. Like, this crop doesn't, and sadly this crop doesn't work well as a cover because of the lack of eye contact and also the crop, and it doesn't work as an end page because of it's not an end, it's like a start. You know what I mean? Like the end is him running through the finish line or some sort of thing like that, or him after the practice where he's like taking off his shoes and like laughing with his friends. Like, this isn't the moment. This isn't the end page. This isn't the crop. So for me, Frank, this one's a bit of a miss. The exposure is great, but this is really a horizontal picture that is cropped to a vertical. There's too much information on the behind. Like, there's too much information here that is not included. There's nothing over here that's not important, but there's hella important stuff over here. There's really important stuff over here, and that's giving us context. The perspective, the side-on perspective, doesn't really work for an end page. I hope this helps. That is Frank Tom. Frank, you guys having a good day so far? You too? I appreciate you watching me. Consider hitting the join button. You know, hitting the join button is super easy. And for the low price of $5 a month, you're going to get some pretty exclusive content. I'm pretty proud of the content that I've been putting out lately. And you too can hit the join button and get access to at least one secret live stream per month. There's probably going to be more. That was Frank Tom, everybody. This is Gerard Danso. Gerard says, hello, family. This is Emma, a fisherman's son, helping to get his father's fish net ready. EOS 5D Mark III, 70-200 2.8, 250th, 4.5, 200 of a second, shot natural light. This is Gerard Danso. Gerard Danso. Let's get it on. This is a yes for me. The vibe is really right. The only issue that I have is the contrast. I feel like it's a little flat, meaning it's too gray. Like, we have gray in the skin tone, gray in the hair, gray shirt, gray this, gray background. Like, there's nothing that's black and there's nothing that's white. It's just gray. Gray everywhere. And when I now say that to you, you're going to be like, oh yeah, there is a lot of gray. So for me, this needs contrast. It also, it feels a little hazy, which might be the time of day. It might be the light quality. But other than that, you are cutting his foot on this side off. And you're cutting these guys a little bit claustrophobic. I do see you focusing definitely on this guy, but I feel like you could have been just a little bit looser in your frame. Also, you're shooting these guys on a hill. So this hill, the fact that you're going this way on a hill that goes that way, makes it really hard for you to make your lines straight. I see you're kind of trying to line up this and line up this, but it makes it really hard because of the perspective. If you've gone down this way to the water and shot up in this way, this hill wouldn't have made as much of an issue. Or if you had gone up this way and then stood up here and photographed down that way, then the water would have been the background. So you would have seen these guys working on nets and also seen water behind, which gives us a context. Seeing the houses behind as a background, now we need the context of what are these guys actually working on, because I don't see the water. So for me, that would have been the option, is to go up here, up the hill, shoot down that way, and then you see a water horizon, you see where the water's lapping in on the beach, and then you see this row of men that are working on this one line of net, and you're standing here and actually able to shoot in this way, and actually you're going to be aiming downhill. So you're not going to be like, you're just going to get a nice perspective on them, and whether you shoot vertical or horizontal. So obviously this is a vertical assignment. This is so close, Denso. I'm giving you love for this. You did a really good job, but I just want you to consider all the different things that I just told you right now in order to tell this story a little bit clearer, as well as create a captivating picture. Make sure you're watching your contrast. If black hair looks gray and gray looks gray and things that could be white in the frame also look gray, that means it's a contrast problem, okay? Just improve the contrast. It's a good job though still. Well done. That is Gerard Danso. All right, next shooter is Mr. Romeo Fowler. Hello, fellow creators. Hope everyone's doing well. My submission for this assignment was shot on Fuji X-T3 85mm 1.2, shot at 2.8, ISO 400, 1/25th of a second. This was shot natural light. This is Romeo Fowler's end screen. Let's go, Romeo. Romeo, this is a vibe and works for me. Like, there's no context, but the expression definitely hits. Obviously this is not like, this feels like a bit of a grabbed picture. The hair, like if you know this girl, then you can go and make sure that you're fixing her cuff here, making sure that her hair is perfect and that the shirt is sitting all nice. If you don't know this girl and you're just grabbing this, then it becomes harder to get the exact idea that you're doing. This looks like it's in a library or a community center or something like this. The light is good, although we have mixed light. We have warmer light back here because of light bulbs, and then we have the window light that's hitting her. This is a yes for me for a back page. This definitely works. It fits the brief. I mean, her neck is a little bit like, it's just a little bit quirky as far as her neck angle, but yes, definitely, it definitely is that off moment that would work for an end page. So Romeo, that's a yes for me. That's a yes for me. Let's have a look at our next photographer, who's Francis Jeffrey. Francis says, hey Carty, this is my portfolio submission for the end page. Shot with a brand new 50mm prime, well done. Shot at an 80th of a second, f5.6 at ISO 200. Intentionally underexposed, so the story's more about what he's reacting with. Posed him underneath Mary. Okay, so let's have a look at Francis Jeffrey. Francis, thank you for submitting. End page. This is a yes, Francis. This is a yes. This is a yes. And again, seeing him from the back, the storytelling, there's story, the composition is on point. The pose is on point. The light and exposure is on point. Cropping is pretty close here. I love the fact that the light is reflecting here down on the table. I mean, your lines are a little crooked in here. Try to make sure that your lines are really balanced between here and here, Francis. But overall, this is a hit for me. This is a hit. Let's have a look at it closer. This is a hit for me. And again, we leveled up big time with this. I really want you to make sure that you're nailing your focus. It seems that the Bible is really in focus, and the stained glass is really in focus. What we're really wanting to have tack is like his head here and his arms. Overall, this is a really, really good effort. This is a yes for me. This is a yes. And as an end page for me, this hits incredibly hard. It hits incredibly hard. I'm going to show you it as a cover, although this is an end page. And I'm going to show you this. And you need to see this, Francis, what it crops like as an 8x10, because when it goes to Instagram, this is what it's going to look like. You can show a little bit of the table. I wouldn't want to crop out the table altogether because that adds such a nice quality, that reflection, the sun coming through the stained glass. So for me, that would be my crop for an 8x10. I want you to consider that because it is just a touch tight. But again, for me, Francis, this is an 11. This is a yes. Well done. Very, 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 very well done, Francis. Good job. Taylor, how we doing? We good? All right. She's good. Sometimes she's not. Sometimes she's not around. This is Denise Tuggle. Denise says, this is my end page submission. I went back to the drawing board like Carty asked, and I reshot a different wine bottle with a total white background. Still working on my light. However, I'm continuously learning. Thanks for your feedback. D850 50mm lens, ISO 100, 5.6, a fifth of a second, softbox, and main. This is Denise Tuggle. Denise, we're getting there. We're getting there. The white background. It's just about how you're using the softbox, because you can see what we're getting is I see the softbox right here, and then it ends. I see the softbox here, and then but then you do have like good lines coming down here. Now I also want you to see that the bottle lines are converging because of how you're standing and hitting the bottle. Look at the lines of the wine. Look at that side of the wine and look at that side of the wine. Do you see how the wine bottle is coming in like this? It's because you're looking down at it. You're not shooting it straight on. You're looking down at it. Now, that is so important to hit. Again, I'm going to show you. This is your this is your background. We'll do a sweep because it's like this. This is your background. This is your wine bottle. Okay? Now, you're not hitting your wine bottle like this, which would make your lines straight. You're hitting your wine bottle like that, which is making this part of the wine bottle look bulbous and this part of the wine bottle look narrow because you're aiming down on it. Just like when you aim up at a building, the lines go like this, right? But we know that those lines are straight. Like the building actually is like, the building is actually like this, obviously on 90-degree angles. But when we're standing here and when we're aiming up at it, the lines converge. They do this. So the exact opposite happens when you look down on something. When you look down on something, the lines go like this. So that's what's happening because you're not hitting the wine straight on. That is a problem. And again, you have to be on a tripod and you keep lowering your tripod, and that's the one thing that you're looking at is the width of the bottle and how the lines here are straight. You have a straight line reference with the edge of your frame. So use the edge of your frame as a reference to see if you're at the right height. Because with a 50mm, those lines should be straight. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing is the softboxes. The softboxes aren't working with the placement that you're using. Okay, so I'm going to draw a diagram again. You need foam core. And foam core, you have to cut it in such a way that it's not just a single piece, but it's a book. So you can open it and fold it like this. And then what you do is you get your light stand like this, and then you have your light stand and you shine your light at the foam core. Because then what it does is it bounces off this and comes back the full length of this. So your wine bottle, you're going to get a highlight the whole length of the bottle. You're going to get a highlight the whole length of the bottle. Instead, what you're doing is you have a softbox that's square like this, and then you're aiming that down onto a wine bottle, and it's just putting the reflection of that square right here, which is what it's doing right there. It's just putting a reflection of the square. You're shooting glass. So we need it to be a shorter, we need it to be like you're lighting this way into a huge V that is taller than the bottle. So it kicks back light that comes from top to bottom. And then you're also cleaning up the shadow down here. You know that the bottle is not floating in the air, right? So there should be some sort of a shadow for the bottle down here. There should be, unless you're shooting it on a light table, which I don't think you are. So if you're cleaning up that shadow, that's one of the shadows that needs to be there. So what we do in this case is, again, we go back to, and again, nicer bottle, but we need to shoot it. We need to go back to references of wine bottle on white and find wine bottles on white. And I want you to look at the lines and look at the light. So when we're looking at your picture and we're looking at this picture, look at the lines. So that's what we have to be doing. And when you're shooting a dark bottle, look at the reflection lines here, which is exactly what I'm describing will happen if you light into a reflector. So, and I want you to see your reflections on your bottle. So that is actually what we're looking at when we're photographing, is these lines on the bottle. Here's another one. You can see that long reflection. So and then when you look at this, well, this is bad wine photography that's just done with window light, this particular one right here. So, and then again, bad wine photography, look at the shadows on the bottles up here. Horrible shot with the softbox, because you can see the softbox right here. You can see it right there, which is exactly what you did. You see? So we have to be looking at better wine bottle photography. Look at the way this photographer did the light. Oops. Where is it? Yeah, like this is what we have to be looking at. Like this, and then this is horrible. This is bad. And you have to be able to recognize like really nice light on a bottle, really nice light, and then bad. So, Denise, you're getting there. What I need you to nail is the height at which you're shooting these bottles. You can't aim down at them. You have to aim straight at anything that you want to have straight lines. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing is we don't light the bottle. You light a reflector. The reflector lights the bottle. Okay, and that reflector, you have to fold it like a V so it stands up on its own. Okay, so that's what I want you to work on, again, on a white background, but work on that. And also, you're choosing red wine. You're seeing it would help you if you learned how to shoot white wine. You can see that, right? Like the bottle, it's like if you could shoot white wine, you could definitely shoot darker wine. But you need to know how to make the bottle look this clean. That's what you need to know. So that's what you need to work on. Pick a white and practice. And I would even steam the label off so you have no label on a clean wine bottle, and then practice. That's what I would do. Because right now we're not quite there. You're not quite ready to show this, Denise. Keep moving, keep trying. And the more often you shoot, the faster you improve. The more often you shoot, the faster you improve. 100%. It happens in all cases, always. That's Denise Tuggle. This is Nadine O'Connor. Well, Carty and crew, here's my submission for Thursday review. 4 LED red lights to get the red effect on the back of the cab, and 1 Godox 45-watt LED panel under the carriage to create a better shadow effect. ISO 160, f6.3 at 3.2 seconds. Shot with a 40. This is Nadine O'Connor. Nadine. So this is your end page submission. This is very close, Nadine. It's just, it's close as in close in attempt. Close in attempt, but it's also very close when I mean like you're a little claustrophobically close, meaning I don't know that I'm looking at the back of a truck right away because of the crop. I don't see the back. Like, I don't see the back of the cab enough. I don't see the mud flaps on both sides. I don't see enough tire. You know that this is the back of the truck because you see them all the time. I don't know that this is the back of the truck. I don't know that this is a back of a truck without a trailer on it because I don't see that enough from this perspective. So you are too close. You need to back up so I can see more of the front of the truck in the background, more of the wheels that are happening back here. You're hitting it like if the truck is here and it's this massive thing with a massive cab and the thing where the thing gets turned out and these like massive wheels, hitting it from this way shows it to me, but hitting it directly from the end as if to literally give me an end page gives me no context. I need to see that the thing needs to be turned a little bit. It needs to be driving away. Like I need more. It's too tight. It's just too tight. And then when this becomes an 8x10, like when it goes on Instagram, like what am I showing? Am I cropping down here to show the wheels and take away this light flare? Or am I pushing up to the top and showing that light flare and cutting the wheels out altogether? And now I for sure don't know what I'm looking at. So you have to assume that your viewers don't see this perspective as often as you do. For me, you really have to look to be like, oh, this is where the trailer connects. And oh, this is the mud flap, and there's a huge bed that's back here, but the perspective doesn't show us that bed. And this is one of the wheels, but then there's another wheel back here, but we don't see that. Like, there's too much that is taken out of this photo, which leaves too much for the assumption, and it makes it so it doesn't hit quite as hard, quite as fast. The light idea up here is inspired, but I feel like I would have wanted to see some tail lights on, but it's your truck, so you can't have the brake lights on and be outside shooting it. So it's tricky because you're doing all of this with your own truck. So I hope this helps, Nadine. For me, you're too punched in. You got to back up quite a bit more, show a little bit more of the context, show a little bit more of the parking lot, show me where this truck is, like show me more. This is too zoomed in on just this little area, and that it doesn't give me enough oomph. I hope that helps you. That is Nadine O'Connor. Nadine, thanks for submitting. And you were right there with the light. Like, the light is inspired. Don't stop swinging like that. You have to keep doing that swing. The only thing that you missed here is you were just cropped in too much. You can always crop in. You can't back up when you've cropped in too much in the original. So give me a little bit more context, and don't forget, only you know trucks as well as you do. So for us who don't know trucks as much, you have to, like, at first glance, the things that I've seen a million times, like a Hasselblad, like I can see the smallest corner of it and know, oh, this is a Hasselblad. You know, like you, when you can see this and be like, oh, I know this is the back of the cab, you know? But for those who aren't that versed, you got to mail it out. You got to spell it out. You got to lay it out. Like just a little bit more for us visually, okay? I hope that helps. Denise. Nope, that is Nadine O'Connor. Nadine, thanks, Nadine. Thank you. Thank you for submitting. And your consistency is really great, so don't stop with the consistency. This is Ian Martin. The horseshoe homage found on every Bugatti since the 20s. Z8, 50mm 1.4, ISO 64, 13th of a second, 5.6 F. This is Ian Martin. Ian, as an end page, this is a yes. I mean, it's very punched in, but it's so ominous. Being able to see this hint of the number 16 is really, really dope. The Bugatti logo, the big sky. If there was ever a time to show the ass of the car, this would be one of the ones to show the historic tail of a Bugatti for an end page. This is one where I'm like, this is when Ian's gonna send me the ass of a car, because it's the end page. But again, the front of the car, this crop, it does also work. I mean, showing you as a cover, it definitely works. Let me show you as a 4x5. This also works as an 8x10 because you've given me plenty of sky, so I can actually pull down, get the whole grill, and not really lose any oomph from the concept of the photo. So the crop was really well done. And overall, this is a yes. I'd love to see the same version with the same car, but only shot of the ass of the car. It definitely holds up though. For me, this is a yes. This is definitely an end page. This is an Ian Martin 11, which he seems to get quite a bit of. FYI, guys, if you're a member of Portfolio Lab, every Thursday I do a hangout on Zoom. And it's kind of dope because it's Zoom. You get to have a conversation with me, and I get to ask you questions about what you're struggling with. You get to tell me what you're struggling with and ask me questions of things that you might be bouncing through your head that you need a professional opinion. The Zoom chats are really dope. They're too dope. And I live stream a lot of them. But it's a lot for me because when I'm on Zoom, not also on YouTube, I can just like chill a little bit. I've live streamed the last 2 weeks in a row. I'm on the fence whether I'm going to live stream today, but irregardless, for the people who are in these Zooms, it's the best vibe. Sometimes there's 10 people, sometimes there's 30 people, and it's super dope. For me, I get to see the people who are attached to these photographs. I get to actually see the people who are submitting and meet them and talk to them. And I also get to like see you animated. For me to see what one of my viewers looks like is amazing. So again, I do that for my Portfolio Lab members. All you need to do is go to thecartymethod.com/portfolio lab in order to join. It'll be the best $47 you spend this month, especially because it gets you access to me 4 times per month for $50, plus gives you access to 8 photo reviews, because that's why we're here, is for you to be a better photographer. So Portfolio Lab, again, William saying, please join. It's awesome. Thanks, William. All right, that is my Zoom chat. And again, those Zooms happen Thursdays, roughly 15 minutes or so, 20 minutes, half an hour after after my live ends. So if you want to know when it starts, it's close to when this ends. Next submitter is Jay Tracy. This was originally taken as an outtake from a cover assignment, and now I hope it can work as a back page. Thanks for taking the time to review my work. You're very welcome. A7R4, 24-70, 1/250th of a second, f8, 1/640th of a second. A newer strobe in a beauty dish, plus 1 softbox. This is Jay Tracy. Let's get it on, Jay. You've made this water look like acrylic. You've made this water look like acrylic. It's quite well placed. As an end page, it's about her expression. I feel like her expression is a little bit like in between. It doesn't have like, it's just blank. It doesn't have like a surprise, or it's just straight. Obviously you can see that she's a beautiful girl. I like what's happening here. I'm just not sure of the water pour, because it's the way that the water is fanning out like this. It almost looks like AI. It almost looks like it's created in post. It looks like I want to see the water kind of falling in a bit of a sheet or from a bigger source. Yeah, because again, it's too triangle the way that the water's coming out. I love the way that it's doing all kinds of this around her mouth. Like, this looks really cool. But what's happening in here is it just looks almost like it looks too good to be real. It almost looks plastic. It almost looks like acrylic and not water because of the shutter speed. So for me, and then again, just your background, like the crumpled, it looks like acetate, colored acetate. Not sure about the background and how like on trend that is. I want you to be thinking classic and timeless, not trendy. Trends are gone today, are here today, gone tomorrow. And the problem is like, it's this background, like it ends up making it could make an image look cheap, because it's inexpensive to just get plastic or acetate and, like, you know what I mean? So we're trying to appeal to luxury. We're trying to appeal to high end. Not loving this image. I'm not loving all the elements. I don't think that it came together in the way that you're hoping for. I'd like to see what your other version was, the cover image that you're thinking about. This is close, Jay, but I think this one's a miss. Let's look at the whole image again. Yeah, it's just the way that this is coming. I feel like what she's wearing isn't really predominant. What this isn't really predominant. Like, what's catching the water and what's happening in the background doesn't really make sense. It feels a little kitschy and a little kid-like. And then this coming down, it feels like acrylic, not water. And you're the water one, so in order for we need a shutter speed that makes like 2/50th is too fast. It freezes the water too much. So now you know. Now try shooting at 1/25th. Try a 160. Try a 60th. See what it looks like. That is Miss J Tracy. Thanks for submitting, Jay. All right. Mr. Andy Phillips. Andy says, I've been experimenting with food and beverage. Here's my back page. What is better than a warm peanut butter cookie? Sugar-coated warm peanut butter cookies, of course. T5i with a 50 millimeter shot at f16 with a 1 second shutter with one Godox light with a white card to bounce back. This is Andy Phillips. Andy, let's get it on. This is very close, Andy. Your exposure is under. You're underexposed by quite a bit. And also you can see up here how we're not, like, we have black over here, but I see the line of the frame, so we don't really have black achieved over here. The light is inspired. The sugar is inspired. The peanuts, the set, all of that is cool. It's just the exposure down here. This is under. I'm going to call this a half a stop. It's just under. It's just too dark. Peanut butter cut cookies, it should punch just a little bit. And then the dark background. Dark is drama, right? Is drama. It's dark is night, right? So it's about, like, does that context fit these cookies? Okay, like, that's the question. Here's another thing. I want you to work on a top down. Top down. Because when you're shooting top down, you only have to worry about the surface that you're laying these cookies down on. You spread the sugar and then you photograph top down. Okay? When you're doing it the way that you are, you need to be concerned about the background and then what you're putting these cookies on, and then you're shooting it that way. So this background is always black, but why is this background not a kitchen like a kitchen tile or something that gives you the context of where these cookies are made? Like we need a where. And if you don't have the right kitchen that looks nice enough to photograph, I mean, not all of us have kitchens that are Architectural Digest that looks worthy of, then it becomes, well, is dark the right choice for a background? Why not white? Why not yellow? You know what I mean? Why, pick your favorite brand of peanut butter. Skippy, Jif, whatever it is. Well, what color are the lids? Green, usually. Blue. So why not some sort of brand? What's the brand of the peanut butter? And what's the association there? So if you're not going to, if you're not dark and moody as far as food photography, it's not, I don't think, and again, Alonzo says dark and moody food photography was popular a few years back, but nowadays it is a bright and sunny look, which I have to agree. And if I was to do a search, if I do a search, peanut butter cookies, and then look, I see top down. Oops, this is not, I want to see images. Top down. Do you see what I'm saying here, Andy? This is what I'm asking for. Top down. Because then you're only stressing about one surface. One surface. Top down. Top down. One surface. Because you're shooting it this way, and then also bright and optimistic. Find me a single picture of a peanut butter cookie, Andy, on black. Here's one. And that but again, it's not on black. It's on gray. It's not as jet as you did it. And then also look at the exposure of peanut butter cookies. Look at the color of peanut butter cookies, and then look at the color here of peanut butter cookies. Do you see how underexposed they are? As I've said, under. So when you're doing that, look at the top down. Look at how bright the tray is. Look at the scene. And also, it's a scene. There is a scene. All of this photography, there is a scene. And I'll show you more top down. I'll show you more top down. So whenever you're not now you're concerned with what's happening back here and the product. This is a bit of a set, but look at where they dropped the horizon line. So it goes right through there. The stuff that with this, you just need a plate and a surface to aim down on, and look at how much more you see the product when you do a top down. Because if not, we're doing this, and this FYI is bullshit. It's got to be appealing. It's got to be bright and airy. It's got to be on the right plate. And if it's dark, there has to be some sort of texture. Look at how this is styled. But for me, this with this green background, this is just someone put cookies in the windowsill and got the, this is where it gets weak when you're trying to hit it on the side. Trying to hit it on the side, you're so determined by what's around it. It's just weak. It's just weak for me. I think that it's lame. This, lame. when you could do this. And I think it's so much more effective when you could do that, when you could do that, when you could do that. It's so much more effective to do a top down. So my challenge for you, Andy, is make a top down rig and start doing this so we can stop seeing these dark pictures and dark backgrounds, because with food, it's not trending. So stop shooting it. Cool? Dark is not a thing. And nail your exposure on these products, because you can see this makes these cookies look sad and isolated, like they're in the back of a very dark closet. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing bright. This is secret. It has to be brighter and optimistic. It's a feel-good thing. It's a peanut butter cookie. You're not depressed, like suicidal, thinking like, so why the dramatic set is my question. Okay. I want you to get off black, and I want you to learn the top down. That is my challenge for you. It's going to change your game once you're shooting top down. And I also know you're not looking at references. You're not looking at references, Andy, because if you were looking at references when you were going to shoot a peanut butter cookie, you would type into Google peanut butter cookies, just like I did. And then when I typed peanut butter cookies into the Googles and said images, you would get references. And then these references become your ideas. And then you now shoot pictures that work, that are proven to work. What happens when you come up with your own ideas is you just do what you know, and you just do what you've done before. Andy, how many times have you delivered me a version of this picture? Honestly, how many times? I've seen it with a self-portrait. I've seen it with baking. I've seen it too many times. You need a new trick, okay? You need a new trick, which is top down. It's a gift for you. And also, just because I shoot black, I shoot people. And it's like, I also don't only shoot black. I'm not a one-trick pony. I do all kinds of things, and also from time to time shoot on black. So that's my advice for you. This is Andy Phillips. And also, nail your exposure, bro. Nail your exposure. Know when you're sending me a picture that is a third of a stop or half a stop underexposed. Andy Phillips, people. All right. This is Eric Hernandez. Eric says, I recently worked at a gig at a theater as part of the stage crew. I had an idea for the assignment while working. Tried to imitate stage and spotlight in studio while invoking the moment right before the start of a show. R6, 24-70, it would be the end of the show. ISO 125, 2.8, 1250 a second. Shot with a Flashpoint 300 no diffusion. This is Eric Hernandez. Eric, I definitely see what you were trying to do here, but we're missing some light. We're missing, like, this is coming dead in from the front, which is catching a highlight here, but the microphone's not showing as well as it should, losing a little bit here, and then the detail here on your subject, who this, like, again, I know we're not trying to see who she is, but it's just the body style and the body language is not flattering. It's not flattering. Like, it's in fact, it's vain. It's like, hey, I'm the where the idea is, this is an understated after moment, which could be contemplative, and it's like less ego. Do you know what I mean? But this is all ego. It's like, look at me. And in fact, is this the right body style to have that kind of an ego? Do you know what I mean? Like, understated and humble always goes way further than when you then boastful and like all about themselves. And this makes her look pretentious. It's like, and again, this is my perspective when I get this body language, What you need is some sort of a something, like a reflector, a little bit of a kick, giving a little bit of detail here, because like we're not seeing anything. There's no contrast because the stage isn't inspired. I don't see hints of like seating or anything like that. Like it's just too one sourced, and the pose for me is gotta be like hands down, hands behind her back, like where she's like hopeful. If it's like before, at the beginning of a show, this feels like, hey, like it's almost like, look at me, I'm all that. But then we don't see if there's even a single person in the crowd. So it's close, but I feel like the ideation in this one is like, the ideation here is like, it's not quite right. I would have shot this a little different. I would have come around this way and hit her a little bit from the side, so we saw a little bit of side stage and like the behind the scenes of side stage, and then that front light coming in and hitting her would have given us a little bit of brand identity, but still subtle. And then have the microphone underneath, like, or have her like fingers crossed or something like that, where she's hopeful and not like, hey, I'm like, look at me, like that, which is kind of what this feels like. Humble. Again, it's like, it's our job to kind of take the piss out of our subjects sometimes if they are like all that, and definitely don't pose your subjects where you're trying to make them seem like they're all of that. Because if you look at the biggest magazines in the world, let me see if I can find end page. Yeah, no, you can't search end pages. It's really, you can't really, editorial end page. Yeah, you can't really search end page images. It really shows nothing. It really shows nothing. So it's about like, again, I said this is a hard one to do, but when we're shooting, let me just say magazine covers. Again, I just want you to look at the poses, and I want you to notice like understated, not taking themselves too seriously. For me, like it hits way harder. But there's always going to be covers that are based on vanity, you know, but again, and I feel like it always depends on the subject that you're shooting, you know. A performer, an end page, I would really want that to just be less vain, more hopeful, and after the show perspective, not before the show, because it's an end page, so it's after something has happened. Eric, for me, I don't think that this hits it. It's close, but the light is just not quite there. The subject for me is not right for this pose. She feels short. And then also, like, you're not lofting her. You're kind of aiming down on her a little bit because you're taller than she and you're standing. You got to lower yourself and place this upper light like a little bit better. Push that upper light through here. Like, there's a couple of different ways that you can play with where that light placement is. I feel like her body style and like, I mean, again, you can see that she's strong, but it's like she's short. So she's like, because of that, it's just like, she's not the right body for this particular silhouette person. I hope this helps. Merrick Hernandez. So Taylor Valentine says, I spent the last 7 weeks shooting for a youth snowboarding crew, Black Borders CT. On my last day with them, I trailed the group's founder Vince as he lined up for rips through the half pipe. Tried a black and white edit to draw focus away from the brown and bare trees in the background. Z6 Mark II, 24-7 f4, ISO 400, 5.6, 1/4000th of a second. This is Taylor Valentine. Taylor. End page. This is just kind of like one of those in-between pictures. It's not further enough away. It's not a behind the scenes enough. It's not a trick. It's just like this transition picture where he's not doing anything yet. So at like have him sitting, taking his skis off or taking his snowboard off and having a laugh, like having a beer, sitting in front of a fire, like all the stuff that happens after skiing, after snowboarding. Like this, it's like, this is just an in-between. It's an in-between. And the horizon line is radically cutting his head directly off. So this block of white and this block of color now makes it feel like it's two complete different pictures. And then like there's just no point of interest here. It's not centered. This is like an edit that we just let go. This is not a picture for our book. It's not a picture for your portfolio, and it's not an end page. It needs to be way more, Taylor. And compositionally, it's not really there. It's not the line, like we follow this line, and it's also very gray. Although yes, there's white snow, there's not like black. Like the helmet's black, but it's gray. The gloves are black, but they're gray. The pants are black, but they're gray. You know what I mean? So this is not enough. It's not enough, and it's not the right edit. This is a nothing picture. It's just one of those things. It's not giving us anything. Like it needed to have happened earlier or after, but this particular moment, Taylor, this is a no for me. This is a no. I mean, you need to know that it's a no. It's not a picture that a magazine is going to print as an end page. It doesn't give enough. It's not compositionally wow enough. It's not telling a story enough. It's just there. So for us, we're trying to curb away from this kind of content and trying to give more. Again, we only have our viewers for a fraction of a second. We need something during that fraction to knock it out of the park and to engage trust. For me, this is not doing any of the things that we need a photograph to do, which means we shouldn't show it. I hope that helps. That's Taylor Valentine. Taylor, I'm sure if you spent 7 weeks shooting these guys, you have better edits than that. But you also have to be like a better editor as far as knowing that's a banger, and then also shooting in such a way where you're not missing amazing moments and catching ones that you shouldn't waste your time shooting. You know what I mean? It like, seriously, where are the guys together after having a laugh, like undoing their stuff, eating their power bars and blah, blah, blah with their feet in the ground? Like, where is those moments? Like catching a guy just not doing anything from behind, just pushing along is like, okay, like there's no oomph to it, you know? So, again, it's like, who would hire me to shoot this? And what value does this bring to the universe? Are the two things that you need to be asking yourself when you're shooting pictures. What value is this bringing to the universe? And who would hire me to do this? Who would pay me to do this? Who would pay me for this photo? When you ask yourself that, like, you can see, like, not this moment. Like, yes, you're being paid to do this, but this particular moment is just an in-between. It's a the. It's not the sentence. You know what I mean? All right, let's get into Lamont DeSalle. Lamont says, I did an awesome photo shoot for a local clothing designer, shot a series of images. I selected this image as a back cover because of the color and the quiet emotion of the model. Let me know your thoughts. Appreciate your feedback as always. One large umbrella, 38-inch beauty dish, Z6 50mm 1.8, ISO 400, f10, a 60th of a second. This is Lamont DeSalle. Lamont. As an end page, no. I'm not sure what she's doing. Like, I honestly do not know what she's doing, what she's reaching for, why her eyes are closed. Like, this is one of those pictures where it's like, what is she doing? What's she doing? Where's she going? What is the idea here? Like, explain to me what the idea for this picture is. Like, that, like, the way that she's standing, she's pulling her dress out, she's got her other arm out, and then what? Do you know what, like, for me, eye contact is incredibly important. This is just like an exercise in fantasy. The gloves that she's wearing don't fit her. So again, I'm not trying to, but we've talked about this with the the styling type that you're doing. This doesn't make sense. I don't know. Hey Marcus, thanks for subscribing. This doesn't make sense. This thing, it doesn't make sense. What she's wearing on her arm, it doesn't make sense. And then this, what's happening in here with the cleavage and this part going all up under her arm and being sharp, but then this part all floppy and this like being offset, like it just looks like a fabric explosion. Like, and again, no offense to the designer. Oops, sorry, kids. No offense to the designer, but offense to the designer, because this is a prom dress. This isn't something that you say, yes, I want to photograph that in studio. This is not something that you say, yes, I want this in my portfolio. Other than the fact that it's green, there's not an oomph to this. The shoes look very, very Payless. Like, the shoes are like, these are Payless shoes. You can see they're folding just by her wearing them. So the fact that you're showing the feet, look at the pedicure. Like, if you're showing the feet, you got to be like, and her feet look swole in these shoes. That foot looks very swollen, and the angle at which you're shooting that foot makes it look very swollen. Why am I noticing it? Because it's in the picture. So, like, this styling up here with the face, sure, shoot beauty. But again, I still feel like it's just over-styled. And the type of styling that you're doing, it's not current. It's not current. There's nothing like this in magazines right now. And you shoot so well, but you're being murdered by the people who you let dress your models. They're killing you. Seriously. Like, if someone pulled this out of their bag, I would say, we're not shooting that. It's like, yeah, but I blah, 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 but I, it's like, we're not shooting that. It's not relevant to contemporary culture. It's relevant if you're going to a prom. It's relevant if you're going to like a formal event. But this is not what you're going to get hired to shoot in a magazine. It's not contemporary. So for me, again, this is another one of like the fashion killing your picture, the fashion. And if somebody pulls shoes like this, and you see that they're clearly plastic, like they just look, you're like, I'm not shooting those shoes, bro. And if we are, we can't show them. So that means don't have the model pulling up the dress so we can see them. If she's wearing them to give her height, hide them. Yeah, and as an end page, no. This isn't an end page. This is an editorial idea, but the pose is wrong. The styling is wrong. And it's just like, it's a fabric explosion. It doesn't work. The gloves don't work. The shoes don't work. Like this stuff, like we spent hours on this, and everybody on set agreed with this. And her hair and her makeup is the most inspired here. The hair and makeup is the most inspired, but I do not like the gown. And you have to understand, like, if you're attracted to this and thinking, I'm going to shoot that, I'm telling you, find me this in a magazine. Find me this in a magazine, and don't shoot a gown that your girlfriend made. Go shoot a Christian Dior gown that costs $40,000, and notice the difference between Christian Dior and your friend who put this together with her sewing machine. Like the level of difference when you're trying to like be a pro photographer and show art directors and editors, they're going to react like I do. When they see this, they're just going to be like, okay, you need a stylist. You need a stylist, someone who's in this century and not making stuff that they just think is cool, stuff that has been proven to be cool. So, anyways, who's saying that this dress is $40,000? So yeah, for me, the assignment was an end page. As an end page, you missed the assignment completely. This is not an end page. Okay. Now, as a photo, now I'm going into this as a photo. The pose is wrong. The clothing is wrong. The shoes are wrong. The accessories are wrong. The thing that works the best is the hair and the styling. And like, you just have to really you have to kind of be an asshole when it comes to what you let happen on your sets. You know what I mean? Like the hair, I would have shot it, but I would have been on the fence with like, I think that this is a little bit too much. But again, it's just like, and yeah, and she's a little thicky. So these are my 2 cents about this. For me, what's most important is when I ask for an end page, you know what an end page is and you're able to nail it. For me, this isn't an end page. It would have been way better to have her in this dress, offset, sitting and having a drinking a Pepsi or having a laugh or drinking from a straw, like not trying to be a princess. Because this whole like I'm a princess is just like, it doesn't hold, it's okay if you're 8, but it doesn't hold weight when you're an adult, and it definitely doesn't hold weight in contemporary photography. So for me, this is a miss, Lamont. This is a miss. You keep sending me these styling things that it's just like, and it's always a miss. Change your team. You have to change up who you're shooting with. Please change it up. Undo the styling. A lot of your stuff needs it's not like a makeover, it's like a make under. We need to like pull your stuff way back. I hope that helps. That is Lamont DeSalle. We got 2 more pictures. This is Mr. Charles Fortin. There's nothing like lingering at the beach and watching the sunset slowly. A7 4 70 to 180 2.8 ISO 100 f16 1/400 of a second. This is natural light. This is Charles Fortin. Charles. This is an end page. This is an end page. This is an end page. Super simple, super understated. It's not overly posed. It's someone having a moment. It's a profile. I have brand identity, even if I can't see that, like that person fully. It works. The low horizon line, big sky works. It works if I want to put an article over top of here. It works. It works if I want to put like nothing here. You know, this is see you next week. See you next month kind of a vibe. It's a postcard. This is the exclamation mark that I've asked for. This is an end page. Yes, Charles, this is an end page. I want you to watch your exposure to make sure that you're not getting hazy, getting too hazy in here. Your exposure is good. I love the reflection off the water. What she's wearing is okay. her elbow hyperextends. Sometimes people, their elbows actually bend past where the axis is, where their elbow is supposed to bend to. So kind of watch the hyperextension. I would have had her bring her hand in a little bit so her elbow isn't bending the wrong way. Perhaps create like her legs are crossed over. Perhaps her legs not crossed over creates a bit of a gap here, so we can see like that her leg isn't this one big thing. Small things, very small things, but definitely things necessary for you to hear as far as how we could have made this even better. As you can see now that this leg and this leg in this area are just blending together. So if there was a gap, like if this leg was longer, that now drops that leg here and then creates that gap between the high one and the short one, and then we get a little pinch of that white light coming through here. That's the only thing. Just like we have the gap here, just like we have the gap here, just like we have the gap here and through her feet here, I would love to see that gap right there. Small thing, but still it's a yes. Still it's a yes, Charles. It's definitely, you understood the brief. This is definitely an end page picture. Hey, you know what happens when someone hits the join button is I hit the smoke. Someone hits the join button, I hit the smoke button, and you also get a crown next to your name. You also get the best emotes, photography related emotes specifically, like Canon gang, Sony gang, Fuji gang, Nikon gang. I have dope photography emotes. Yeah, the dopest. So blast some emotes, guys. Show my crew the cool emotes that you have. All right, and our last photographer in the day is Anton Duras. Anton says, "This is my contribution to the travel issue of the best magazine out there, the Carte Method magazine. For the end page assignment, I photographed the far end of a railway station, a point where all tracks merge into one, sending trains full of travelers towards their destinations. Looking forward to your feedback. Sony a6600, Sigma 18-50, ISO 100, f7.1 at 1/160th of a second." This is Mr. Anton Duras. Anton, this is a vibe. This is an end page. There's definitely a vibe here. Now, I understand that it's very tricky to balance between, are you showing the stuff that's happening up here or are you showing the tracks? Like, what's more important? Do you take that horizon and drop it up here? Do you take that horizon and drop it down here and lose all these tracks? So I understand that you kind of had to put it in the middle. Also, you're shooting like on this ridge that's kind of cut out of a hill, so it becomes really hard to orient your horizon line. This is a good orientation, which feels really straight and composed well. I like this guy walking away. And there's also some people up here kind of also walking away. Hello. 1 second here, Charles. Hello. There we go. Wrong button. So yeah, you got some people up here walking away, and we have a man over here walking away, which all kind of work for me. I love the fact that we're seeing these train tracks all lead into one and go off into the destination. It's a dope idea. It's a dope idea. This is very, very, very close for me. I'm going to give it a yes. And it's all this man walking away, this web, like this all just makes it work as an end page. So this is a yes for me. This is a yes, Anton. Is there a way that you could have made this better? Maybe pushing here. Let me try something. Maybe pushing up, and sacrificing some of what's happening up here and cut. Let me show you. Cut right here-ish. And let me show you what that looks like if we do it as an 8x10. So imagine now with this 8x10, I push the horizon. Yeah, like I like the tracks, but I would cut up there because you can see if I come up here and cut those tracks, you really want to see more of the tracks. So it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. But I kind of like it there, Anton, or maybe just a touch higher so I'm not clipping the light. Just there or here. That's kind of my other alternate crop if you were to go to 8x10. But this is a yes for me. This is a yes. And that's an 11. And that's our last shot of the day. Guys, I'm super excited about Portfolio Lab. What's going on here, the development that you photographers are creating. Know this, I need to tell you who the photos of the week are, but also I want to remind you, or actually tell you what next week's assignment is. Next week's assignment is going to be so sick. I'm so excited about next week's assignment. I'm going to give photos of the week to people who have delivered me pictures that actually would work as end pages. Like, that actually would work as end pages. I have to do this with a scrutinous eye, and we have like 4 or 5. Okay, starting with our first photographer, winning photo of the week today. This photographer, his name is JV. Photo of the week, buddy. Congratulations. Really good swing. Again, I had lots to say about this photo. I hope I helped you. But as you know, this works. And this is and will be an amazing back cover. You did great. I'm just also have to point out all the things that I noticed with everybody who wins or not wins photo of the week. But that first one is Mr. JV. Now, I also had a lot to say about this photograph, but it works as an end page. I'm not going to lie. It works as an end page. Your next photo of the week winner is Gerard Danso. Danso! That's an end page. That works. Editorially, beautiful. It's a great idea. I want you to hear everything that I said during your review, but no, that's a photo of the week. That's Carty approved. And again, I appreciate how hard you guys have been trying over the last little while. The next absolute killer as an end page, and again, one of those photos that just like works so well. Very proud of this photographer. His name is Francis Jeffrey. Francis, it's another photo of the week, buddy. Congratulations. This is definitely an end page. End page. Very, very, very well done. Very well done. And Francis is one of the people who actually won photo of the week for the cover, and the cover is the same subject. So he has one with a cover image, and now he also has a back cover, which he also won with. Very well done, Francis. Very well done. A Francis Jeffrey. Our next photo of the week winner goes to Mr. Ian Martin. Ian with this Bugatti front. This is a photo of the week. Ian Martin. Photo of the week. Very well done. That's approved. That's approved. That's a Bugatti. Crazy. Crazy. That's a photo of the week. And we got 2 more. 2 more. I feel like really just knocked this out of the park. Photo of the week going to Charles Fortin for this photo right here. Charles, that's the photo of the week. That is an end page. Yes. Photo of the week. You can't win photo of the week without completely understanding killing the brief. I can't give you photo of the week if you didn't follow the brief. And the whole idea is to learn how to follow briefs, learn how to shoot to brief, because that's your photography career when you're an assignment photographer. And our last and final photo of the week this week goes to Anton Duras. Anton, well done, buddy. Photo of the week. That is an end page. That is an end page. Guys, wow. You ready for this week's assignment? This week's assignment is a doozy. Just FYI, this is the assignment that most people will fail. Most people will fail this assignment because it is very hard to understand what this thing is that I'm asking you to shoot. What I'm asking you to shoot is this. I want you to make a lifestyle hero image. Lifestyle. Lifestyle is the niche, the genre, the type of photography that more people miss than any other one of my assignment. Flat out, people just don't do it. They just don't do it. They just refuse to learn how to shoot lifestyle. Or they do it, miss miserably. Okay? And then there's those who keep trying, keep submitting, and nail it. There's photographers who shoot in lifestyle in my group that shoot lifestyle so naturally, giving them a lifestyle assignment is almost cheating. Lifestyle. Lifestyle is regular people doing regular things photographed in a stylized way. Okay? Regular people doing regular things photographed in a stylized way. Now, that stylized way, create a powerful, this is the objective, create a powerful, authentic lifestyle image that feels aspirational but accessible, showcasing a product, a person, or a place in its ideal context. Okay? What is lifestyle photography? Now, you need to know what lifestyle photography is because I feel like not enough people have this locked in. Not enough people have this locked in. Lifestyle photography, a lifestyle image, captures real life moments in a natural and authentic way. Antonio, thanks for subscribing. Unlike traditional posed pictures, lifestyle photography focuses on storytelling. It shows people in their everyday environments, at home, at work, out in the world. The goal is to create images that feel genuine, relatable, and emotionally engaging rather than staged or over-polished. But these images are staged, okay? These images often use natural light in real settings. They always use natural light, making them feel more immersive. Or if it's lit, the artificial light is made to look like natural light. While these lifestyle images appear candid, they're always lightly directed. The subjects are lightly directed to ensure great composition, great lighting, and great storytelling. The key is to balance spontaneity with intention, capturing authentic emotions and interactions without them feeling forced, okay? As I talk about my lifestyle photography, I'm going to show you one of my favorite photographers, Jeff Lipsky. And there is nobody who shoots lifestyle like Jeff Lipsky. He's ridiculously good. And I'm going to continue to describe this assignment as I let you look at the work of Jeff Lipsky. Now, look at Lipsky. A lifestyle image captures real life moments in a natural, authentic way. Unlike traditionally posed portraits, lifestyle photography focuses on storytelling, showing people in everyday environments, at home, at work, out in the world. The goal is to create images that feel genuine, relatable, emotionally engaging, rather than staged and over-polished. Lifestyle images often use natural light and real settings, making them feel more immersive. While they might appear candid, they're lightly directed. Lifestyle photography is everywhere. From branding to advertising to social media to editorial work. Even your family portraits could be turned into lifestyle photography. Brands use lifestyle photography to showcase products in a real world context, while influencers and entrepreneurs use lifestyle photography to craft a personal, engaging presence. Okay? It's also widely used in wedding and family photography. So lifestyle photography is different. It's more relaxed. It's more relaxed than portrait photography. It's more curated than documentary photography. And it's less fashion focused than editorial work. Okay? It's about capturing life as it happens with just enough artistic direction to make it visually compelling. So if you're a people photographer, what I want you to be doing is capturing subjects engaged in genuine activities that reflect an aspirational lifestyle. I want you to show authentic interaction with environments or products. I want you to focus on peak moments that feel natural yet visually compelling. Places photographers document environments that embody a desirable lifestyle. So I want you to capture spaces during the right time of day, optimal lighting conditions. And I want you to show locations that feel both aspirational and accessible. Like, look at this. Lifestyle. And I want you to create depth through environmental storytelling. And if you shoot things, I want you to stage products in authentic lifestyle contexts. Show your items being used in their natural way, in their intended environment. And if you shoot things, create compositions that tell a lifestyle story through product integration. Balance product visibility and lifestyle authenticity. So this is Jeff Lipsky and some lifestyle photography. I have people crying, asking me for best in show. Best in show. People saying best in show, best in show. Best in show happens when there's best in show. When there's something, and when someone understood an end page image or one of my briefs so well that they are miles ahead of the crowd. Miles ahead. And for me, this week, there's only one picture, two, that embodied the end page perfectly. So if you want best in show, if that's what you're asking me for, if that's what you're crying the blues about, you want best in shows before I finish my assignment. If you want that before I finish my assignment, here I have maybe two. First best in show goes to, this is for the end screen, for the end page, someone who gets the end page more than anybody. Okay, number one, Francis Jeffrey, right here, best in show. That is an end page like I shot it. This is an end page like if I said shoot an end page based on this pastor or this reverend, like this is the end page. This is an end page. And one other photographer just, and again, this shooter, his consistency is insane since he's been a part of this Carty method, a part of Portfolio Lab. Your photo of the year. No, I'm just kidding. The best in show. Best in show. And again, the reason that I wasn't like flipping out over telling you best, because again, yes, these are the two best photos, but again, I'm not flipping out because nothing made me flip out today. I want to flip out. So again, those are the ones where I'm like, that's when there's so many best in shows. But today, there's only two. Your last and final best in show goes to Mr. Charles Fortin. Charles, it's the best in show, buddy. Without question. So, okay, you won it. There you go. Okay. I know you like accolades. And again, sure, when you do something right, you did something right. You did amazing photos. But again, it's like, it's just head down, do the work. Head down, do the work. Like, photo of the week, these were all photos of the week. Me now pulling out 2 better than photo of the weeks. No, this is just the best of the photos of the week. These 2 are the best of the ones that I picked for photos of the week. Sometimes there's just best in show. Sometimes there is just like, this is the best. And also on brief. Sometimes there's no best in show, just FYI. Sometimes photos of the week, yes. Sometimes I give 3 photos of the week. You know what I mean? So it all depends on you. And again, I'm not moody. I react only straight to the photography. If it's killer, I won't miss it. If it misses, I'm going to tell you why it misses. So, yeah. I'm not like, I'm fair. I call it like I see it. But also, if I see something, like, understand this, Charles Fortin, this photo of the week for Charles, like, this best in show for he could do something way better than that. He could hit something way better than that. So yes, it's a best in show, but still, he could do something way better than that. And again, that's why I'm also like, I mark you against you. So like, you better hit hard. And I'm, even if you're better than anyone else, as far as my submissions today, still, I'm like, yeah, but are you better than you? Did you make something better than you? It's like, see, that's why best in show are like, you know what I mean? You're like, I want, but the funny thing is, it's not Charles saying, give me best in show. It's other people saying, these 2 photographers deserve best in show. And I'm like, okay, so I listen to that, you know? Mike Steinmetz is saying, for Francis, this is one of the best photos he's submitted. Hands down. For Francis, and Francis, I know you're watching this, by far, your improvement in the last month is mental. I'm telling you, Portfolio Lab, it's the best $50 you'll spend in a month. Or go out to dinner and have memories for 24 hours. This is turning you into an assassin. That's what I'm doing. So guys, I hope today brought you value. I'm going to go back into the assignment as I was so derailed because you guys had to know who won photo of the week. Let's go back into the assignment so I can actually remind you we are making a lifestyle picture. And lifestyle is the hardest niche to crack. I'll tell you over and over and over again, lifestyle is the hardest niche to crack. It is very hard to shoot regular people doing regular things in a stylized way. Do I have lifestyle photography? Sure. I have some lifestyle photography. I would call that lifestyle. I would call this lifestyle. I would call this lifestyle. I would call, where's some more? I don't have that much in my portfolio. My portfolio is really straight portraits. I'd call this lifestyle. But I do have some in my tear sheet category. Yeah, let me show you. We'd call this lifestyle. Although it's very stylized. And this, we'd call this lifestyle. So again, I can shoot it, but I haven't been hired to shoot it in a while. So, just to show you a little bit of some lifestyle tear sheets. Like if you look through my tear sheets, if you go to stevecarty.com and go under the work drop down to tear sheets, you'll see like some lifestyle tear sheets. A lot of the stuff that I shot for Sporting Life, all lifestyle. And in fact, I even fake snow. This is fake snow. This is fake snow. I shot all of this in like September, long before, like, look, the leaves were just falling, but this was shot on the same day that this was shot and that this was shot. And we just literally sprayed fake snow everywhere. So this is my lifestyle photography. I haven't been hired in a bit to shoot this type of work, but there's lots of it here. Yeah, you can have a scroll through. Guys, I hope today brought you value. I saw some great submissions, but considering how many people I have registered for Portfolio Lab, I only have like 90 some spots left. So I have 33,000 subscribers. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to hit our 200 cap for people in Portfolio Lab. I can't help everybody, but once we hit 200 people registered for Portfolio Lab, then we button it, and I just continue to serve them. And then every once in a while when people drop off, because if you drop out, you can't join again, and then I can just sign up more people. So we'll have a nice like 200 people that I'm doing this for. So guys, consider hitting the join button. Remember, consider joining Portfolio Lab because that is smart money. And I'm going to be doing a little hangout with my Portfolio Lab members right now, meaning on Zoom. We're going to do a nice, I need half an hour. How's that? I need half an hour to hang out because I've been talking so intensely. So it's 1:45. So let's call it 2:15. I'm going to show up on Zoom and hang out with you guys and chat for a bit. I'm not sure if I'll stream it. I have to see how I feel after I stop talking. I might hang out with these guys for a while. If the conversation starts going really great, I might start streaming it. Not sure. The stream is not promised. Me on Zoom absolutely is promised. Guys, I hope today brought you value. You know me. I've been Carty. Follow me on socials if you feel like it. Definitely follow the Carty Method on Instagram, because the Carty Method Instagram, that is your photos. If you submit here and win, they go to the Carty Method Instagram. I have an amazing team. We post twice a day on Instagram. We're on TikTok. And I'm here to help you get to the next level. I'm glitching. Bye.
This live stream was brought to you by Pixpa, the best website builder for photographers and creatives, and Indie, the best way to run your freelance business, and by you, the members and subscribers of the Carty Method. Consider becoming a member for $5 a month to show your support for our content, and we'll reward you. You get members-only content every month, and Carty has the best emojis on YouTube, and you'll get that crown badge next to your name. If you're building a photography business, make sure you join Portfolio Lab. How ready are you to be a pro? Take the Carty Method Pro Photographer's Readiness Scorecard. You'll always find helpful links in the show notes. Sharing is caring. If this content has brought you value today, share it, clip it, post it to your socials. Curating and sharing helpful content makes you an expert. Even if the content you're sharing isn't yours, be a curator and share this content with your network. Find your creative and business genius with the Carty Method.
Hey, if you become a member of this channel, I literally handwrite your name and then scroll it manually. I'm hand cranking a scroll right now to move all of the names right to left. And I'm also hand cranking with my other hand left to right to make all my subscribers' pages go across. If you became a subscriber recently, your name is going to appear on the bottom of the screen. If you became a member, you have a crown next to your name in every one of my comments and in every comment that you make in my live chat. It identifies you as one of my true fans. You are the Carty method royalty. Become a member, become royalty. And also, if you join Portfolio Lab, you get to hang out with me directly. If you need coaching, if you need help, it costs $400 an hour for me to coach you. But for $50 a month, you can be in a Zoom with me 4 times a month. That's pretty much a no